Now, ladies and gentlemen, now we go on to Starlight Zone, Act 1. And, basically, this is actually truly one of my favorite zones of all time. Mainly, not just because of the great soundtrack. I mean, I love this track whatsoever. But, I just like the overall view of Starlight Zone in general, though. But, yeah, I don't know how to get the extra life, though. But, mainly, the reason why I really do actually like this zone is just, for facts being, is that, you get that type of feeling again where you actually be able to, you know, get how you can say, I guess, more speed than usual, I guess you could say. Right now I'm trying to ramp up this because I just want to get back up here. There we go. And just from that, yeah, see. Mainly, I'm not going to be focusing on getting the rest of the Chaos Emeralds, because if you guys remember in last session, I'd gotten all the Chaos Emeralds. Now I really don't need to worry about actually, I guess you could say, getting the zone for the most part. I just need to worry about, you know, getting through the stages and, you know, progressing as it goes along, though. But I will actually try not to at least lose my rings for the most part. But, even for those reasons, I still have problems where I lose rings, and, you know, from there, I can explain where that comes from, I guess. And, you know, I really do like this stage, mainly just because it's more like, you know, I guess you could say a green hill zone feel, because except for these fans, Sonic cannot go past fans. Sonic is not as fast as fans, which is unusual. Actually, no, wait, I was supposed to go back up there. But, you know, the one thing I really do actually like about this is that this was truly actually the first song that got me into hearing the actual Sonic soundtrack in general, and I still do love it because I guess, you know, when I was a little kid, I never really pictured Starlight Zone, you know, well, with this exact soundtrack to be like this, mainly just because I just didn't expect it to be like this. So it's a cool feeling. As said before, though, the cool thing about this is that we're not going to be really, as said before, focusing on the rest of the special stages. But now we just completed Act 1 of Starlight Zone, and now we're going to be going on to the next one, because mainly we really don't need to worry about this. So now we got our Starlight Zone Act 2, and I really don't like hitting springs, because I don't remember this stage very well as I do remember with all the other ones. Just due to the fact is that I believe that there are actually, the next zone that's actually about to come up, Act 3, is actually going to be a little bit more irritating, because, well, we don't have the bombs. That's also one of the things I don't know, the one thing I think this zone makes it actually hard is actually the bombs, which is actually quite funny, because, you know, you wouldn't expect, well, I call them bombs because it reminds me of Mario Brothers, even though that's not freaking. But now we come to the exact badnik that I keep forgetting the name. I just call it a bomb, even though I should look up the correct name, which is really unusual that I don't know the correct name for that whatsoever. That's kind of irritating. But now we come to these platforming section parts. We have to hit this and, you know, I guess you could say hit the spike ball onto this little, how you could say, here, I'm trying to explain what the name of it is. I guess you could call it a seesaw. That's basically what it is. I don't know if I need to go to a special stage, sure, why not? But I don't know. From here, I think that this is mainly the reason why still recommendations about, you know, how awesome this level is, and amazing how pretty easy that it's able to get to it for most parts. But now, ladies and gentlemen, now we just passed Act 2 of Starlight Zone, and now we're going to be going on to Act 3, which was actually a lot easier than I thought, because I thought this was going to be a little bit more irritating. Now we go on to Starlight Zone Act 3, and this is actually where, as said before, this is actually where things get a little bit more interesting, because I believe that there are, yeah, there's bottomless pits, and there's actually parts where you have to actually use a lot of seesaws, which explains the reason why that, you know, it gets harder as said goes along, and I always wonder why it does that. You know, when you hit on the fans, for some odd reason, it makes it so, how, I'm not exactly sure, just, yeah, here comes the seesaw section parts, and if you don't manage to get up to these parts, you will die. There's a bottomless pit down there, so recommendations to always look out, so. Good. Oh god. Alright, PFC. Exactly what I mean. That's the reason why that was there, because I can understand why I can understand why there's an invincibility there, because it's just saying, you know what, you screwed up, so we're just going to give you an invincibility so you can just spring through the rest of the level, which is basically what I'm actually trying to do for the most part, so. But It's not usually the case here. I should start actually slowing down. And now we just hit some major lag because of all the bombs everywhere. Yeah, now we just come up to, like, very, very interesting parts. Oh, yes, I remember. This is actually a part where you have to jump on, I guess you could say, this giant sort of contraption. I guess it's more like a swing with spikes around it, which makes it, I guess, a little bit more interesting than most enemies. Why don't we just have a giant spike ball that shoots freaking lasers? Why not? Why not? Now, from what I remember, still there actually is a lot more parts for this, and you know, never again. Keep forgetting, run away. Huh. Now we go into the boss, and actually, this is a little bit more interesting for this exact Robotnik boss battle, mainly because all you have to do on this is just look for him to drop these little things, and you know, it's more like a little swing set mainly. I can't seem to hit him because I'm just that terrible. And let's see. No, I probably shouldn't have gotten hit there, but whatever. Let's see, this is actually gonna probably take a little bit, mainly because I can't seem to hit this whatsoever. And let's see. Always keep one ring. That's the main tactics of Sonic. Keep one ring. Alright. Mainly I could just stand on these and I can hit him from up here if I wanted to, though, but I probably shouldn't. Mainly just because I should actually be trying to use tactics here. Yeah, see, like that. So you can just... This is actually a little bit quite more irritating than most of the times I've actually tried doing this, because there's that. Now let's just wait till that blows up. Everything blows up in Robotnik Land. This might be a little bit more irritating just for reasons being that this is probably going to take a little bit for it. But this is going pretty well so far, at least for some things there. And let's see. Hit him, throw that up in the air, then jump, and then, you know, from there on out it's pretty easy, but I really just take it the harder route because for some odd reason I just love doing that. There we go. Now we just basically beat that boss battle of Starlight Zone, and now we just basically all set the woodland creatures free. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now we just passed Act 3 of Starlight Zone, and now we're going to be going on to one zone that I'm pretty sure everyone will be very familiar with. Scrap Brain Zone Act 1. Mainly, ladies and gentlemen, this zone has one of the catchiest tracks that I truly love in many states, though, but it has one of the most irritating schemes of all time. Mainly, the reason why it has a very irritating scheme is that there's a lot more traps in this, and actually I can understand where this would be coming from, but what I would recommend you guys, if you guys do play Sonic 1, recommend you guys to always take the top path of Scrap Brain Zone. Mainly just because it's a little bit more irritating, but can't seem to go that way, so now I'm going to go this way. And now we come to these sections that I've actually gotten myself killed many times before, but you always have to watch yourself. These rotating, I guess, beams that try to squish you into the tight places, you always have to keep moving into most of these parts. But this exactly explains where this exact zone came from, the name of this. Now we actually come to these exact things, I guess, well, what I would like to call them is, I guess, shocks, or, you know. Let's jump up here, and now we're just going to be platforming our way up to victory. Hopefully enough. Now we got a shield, and let's just, I don't know, this actually, later on in this exact, and Scrap Brain Zone, it actually gets a lot more hard because, or a lot more hard, my bad language. Mainly because underneath these twirling platforms, I actually do believe that there is platforms, that there's a non-existent platform, so I would recommend all bewares of this exact area. And don't run too fast, yeah, like how I just did, because then you'll probably kill yourself. Not kill yourself, but just run into fire. Running fire that comes out from electric beams and taking all this fun stuff, so now we always have to do is just, you know, always stay on these platforms. These platforms are the main reason why you guys probably need to stay on this. Now we come to some very more irritating enemies, or badniks, as I would like to always call them, but, you know. Well, let's hope I can get some rings and kill this bastard. God dang it. I don't want any exploding bombs. Alright, so, yeah, so basically, this exact badnik, I'm not exactly sure what the name is, but it throws very annoying bombs. and I always keep getting hit by him because Sonic can never go up slopes correctly. This is mainly tactics that can only be avoided during out later on zones in general. But now we basically just passed Scrap Brain Zone Act 1, and truly in my opinion, if you guys didn't know this, I really do love the way the background looks for Scrap Brain Zone. It's mainly the reason why I feel that this is supposed to be like a dangerous zone is because, well, for one thing, we actually go into, well, now actually we just escaped the outside of the factory itself, but now we basically go up to higher levels of, I guess, construction, but right now we just, yeah, I really don't know why there's no sound effects there, and recommend to get out of this exact area because there's just certain parts where you can die, and you know, it's not fun. It's truly not fun, but I'm just trying to get up there. I can't because for some odd reason the friction doesn't work like that. So now we basically just passed through that, and I'm basically just jolting my joystick back and forth, and joystick, what am I talking about? I'm playing with a controller. Alright, but now we basically go to these little, I guess, elevator type deals that actually, it brings you to certain places in parts of the levels, but I do love these rotating platforms, mainly just because they're a little bit more interesting. I really do have to admit that, yes, and this is exactly where springs and freaking chainsaws come into the situation. This is exactly Robotnik's idea of having chainsaws in his actual levels. I always get hit by them. I'm basically like speed running through it, ladies and gentlemen, if you are wondering. But, you know, just trying to jump through this and, you know, do this. I'm not the very best pro at Scrap Brain Zone. I'm not even a very good pro in general. But I just, yeah, see, like, some certain sections of this, there'll be chainsaws that move across the ground and make it a little bit more irritating to maneuver around. I don't know why yeah, so now we have to be a little bit more careful, and, you know, oh yeah, there goes that. So basically, guys, this is what I mean by how very irritating the Scrap Brain Zone can be, and, you know, it explains that, but it explains my carelessness of how I wasn't really paying attention that much. But, you know, from there, we always learn our mistakes, and, you know, so now what I'm going to be doing is I'm probably going to be at least watching out of what's mainly coming my way, for most parts, though I can see that why, you know, for some odd reason, when I'm playing Scrap Brain Zone, I always like taking my time, at least through most parts, mainly just because I don't like, you know, chainsaws, or moving chainsaws in general, so now we have to wait for this thing to start moving, or go back up in general, the chainsaw itself, so... Okay, see, that's why I always hate it. I hate how the friction of the actual conveyor belts itself likes to pull you back, and it makes it a little bit more irritating to at least go out from some sides, and I almost ran into that again. Man, this is why that no one should ever go into a factory. Just mainly because you can imagine how much death... Now here comes a part that I actually might have to run from. Actually, yeah, I just screwed myself over kind of there. Actually, no, the part that I had to run from would actually be later on. Actually, it's coming up right now, mainly just because there's certain parts of chainsaws that will kill me, and I'm actually trying to avoid them as much as possible, like right there, but trying to watch out for enemies. Ugh, that was not good. Alright, wait. Let's do low jumps. Okay, that was not good. That was not good. That was not good. Okay, wait. Let me just try focusing on this. And, you know, let me just... I'm trying to, like, mainly focus on this part. The really cool thing I do like about these conveyor belts is they don't knock you off immediately. They have some weird friction thing going on, so, right now I have no rings. So now I probably have to, like, spin roll attack. Thank God. Now we come to very interesting pillars that try to squish you with everything. You might want to run. Run. Run, Sonic, run. Oh, God. This is what I mean by this. Always watch out for scarifying enemies, I guess. But, you know, the next exact zone is going to be a little bit more interesting, mainly because, for one thing, is that at least the next zone that's about to come up is actually... It's not as hard, but it's actually going to be a reference to another zone later on. I don't know if you guys will actually get it, though, but I'll tell you about it later on, though. I'm not going to tell it now, because it would just spoil the fun. And me, freaking... I don't know how the hell that was possible, whatever. You have to... Oh, wow. Try finding rings. Yeah, I don't remember exactly which way I'm supposed to go. I really don't. I remember that it wasn't this way. Mainly because, yeah, well, it was this way. Okay, never mind. My lack of remembering. But now we just passed Act 2 of Scrap Brain Zone, and mainly it was a lot harder than I remember. Just because of one section with chainsaws. Now we just meet up with Robotnik. You asshole. Let me jump. Ugh. You and your foolish ways. No! Now we go on to Scrap Brain Zone Act 3, and now we go on to... So if you guys don't already know, this is a reference from Labyrinth Zone, except with just the track changing and the overall appearance. But now we have to watch out for most things, because I don't remember where there are rings, and I don't like... Yeah, here's rings. So, yeah, and of course I would be the first one to lose it. Of course that. But the one thing I really do hate about this Scrap Brain Zone Act 3 is that there are a lot of water segments that kind of make it a little bit more irritating, but now I have to dodge spikies. That was not good of me. Okay, that was me just randomly getting it perfectly. So, but now I just want to... I don't know what's up with my rings just appearing randomly, but just hope that this isn't... Yeah, I don't know what I just did there. Yeah, this is gonna terrify me probably. Oh wow. Okay, wait. I'm just randomly going through the rest of the stage. I need a bubble. Hurry. Music. Hurry. There. There we go. That makes it a little bit not death related at least, which is a good thing. I have to run away from this spike ball and let just despawn. I thought it was actually going to keep following me, but never mind. And let me just hit this. Make the active... Whoops, I missed that completely. Let me just hit that. Oh yeah, now we get it. And we're going to probably need more air. Come on, wait. Come on, wait. Oh man. This is not good. Yeah, that's not good. That was terrible. Truly, in my opinion, that was actually probably one of the worst things I've ever done. But now we just come jump back in here. Now I want to actually take this bottom path, because this bottom path is actually a lot easier than the other one. Mainly because if you want to know why, this one's actually not confusing. But there are a lot of tritons and a lot more spike balls trying to kill me, and they're all put into separate places at separate times. Oh wow. So this is exactly what I mean by how Robotnik has just decided to say, you know what, I'm going to change the level design for you. I'm going to make it a little bit harder. Which is basically what he's trying to go for. I can see why. Now what I'm wondering is how many more spots before I actually find another spike ball randomly trying to kill me. Don't remember why that was there. Don't remember why that was there either, but I still need an air bubble if they'll let me have one. Of course, for those reasons, it explains for that. So now let me just jump up here. Jump. No! I just got hit. Oh, god dang. Wow, that's a terrible spike trap. I do have to admit that, you know, that's probably one of my worst ones. That's probably one of my worser parts of at least Scrap Brain Zone. But now we have to make it all the way back down here again. Take this shorter path. But this time, I think that maybe I should probably at least watch out a little bit more. I mean, I really do have to admit that this is probably one of the worser runs that I've done. Tritons, spike balls, everything coming after you at once. Let's see. Enemies that shoot fire, lion heads that shoot fire. It's all original. It proves a point. It proves a point that fire can live underwater, and I can get hit a lot more easier. Yes, 2 times, in fact. I'm just gonna jump down here. I don't know if this was a good idea to jump down here. The one thing I really do think that not Marble Zone, what am I talking about? Freaking Scrap Brain Zone has a lot more unique paths, ways, I guess you could say. Makes it, some paths are harder than others, sometimes they're a lot easier. I guess it just depends on it though, but this path I'm already guessing that's probably gonna be a lot harder, because I haven't taken this path yet. And let me just jump on this, jump on Ring Box, and I'm trying to figure out where I can get some air, because of course from up here, yes, that leads to the platform up here, and I jump really slowly, and oh, that was almost an incredible hitbox right there. Now we just have to wait for a bubble before I die. Wonder how long this is gonna be. Just right at 2 seconds, it just gives me that right there. So now, Well, I believe I'm probably gonna have to do, so I'm probably gonna have to do an infinite jump up here, which might be a little bit harder. Okay, now I'm probably gonna have to go back down here, get some more rings, and now I need to get an extra bubble because, this is the one reason why I really do hate Scrap Brain Zone, because of, now I have to wait for this, now I have to wait for that, and now I have to jump back down to get my ring, because of course, rings don't fly through walls anymore, apparently. So, this is why, this is the reason why I always have to take my time in Scrap Brain Zone. Mainly just these exact sections. Actually, this is the only section I really have to take my time in, because it's the only one harder part. So now I recommend you to jump like it's, jump. Okay. Now we just basically got one of the harder parts out of the way. Still can't remember. Now we go to the final zone, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final zone of Scrap Brain Zone and the final zone of the whole game. And of course, the reason why that this makes the game a little bit more harder is because, what you have to do here is you basically have to avoid his projectiles, or his electric projectiles, and you have to basically watch out where he goes. This is a little bit more, I guess you could say, quite irritating. But of course, the hitbox has to be very irritating. But what I'm trying to do, ladies and gentlemen, that, mainly what you have to do here is you have to avoid what he has to, or his exact boxes per se. I guess you could say that you just have to basically avoid his projectiles without getting hit, because, of course, in this certain part, of course I knew where he was going to be there, but basically, the hitbox for this is truly amazing, and you have to be really skilled not to get hit by this, though. But recommendation: there's all these 4 blocks. They're all going to try hitting you, and for some odd reason, I can't seem to not get hit by electric fields, and you know, it's actually going to start irritating me personally, though. But yeah, that was the first time that failed. Now what we're going to try doing is wherever these exact electric fields are going to go, they're going to come after you, generically, but I always know where the first hit's going to come from. Mainly just because I just know where basically the first hit's going to come from. It's actually going to come from over there, but, you know, would have no idea for that, so, you know, just basically jump at the right time, make sure you don't get hit there. There we go, that was a lot easier than I thought. And still jump at the right time there. And nope, that wasn't it. But he'll always go in a set pattern. It might take a little bit, but you know, at least that I won't get a So there's a game over, ladies and gentlemen. My first game over that I've gotten. So you know, this is a little bit more irritating, I guess you could say. Yes, my continues have saved me once again. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to try doing this actually right, but I think just for the fact being that it actually makes the stage harder is personally just because you do not have any rings for this. There are no rings whatsoever, but just a recommendation, always watch out to make sure so you don't do the same things that I always do. But, you know, for that reason, I still don't understand why I always have a weird way of always doing this. For my opinion, I don't like going for scale after him. I like waiting for his arrivals in the corner over here. So I could basically just stay here and, you know, be fine, but still wanting to look out for some things. Yeah, always. So, you know, always just stay in the corner. Watch out for these projectiles because they will kill you in some form of manner, as said before. And, you know, just hopefully that this is, you know, this is not that hard of a boss battle. It's just very irritating at some times. So this boss battle could probably go a lot more faster if I wasn't, you know, so panicked to a point where I couldn't focus on the actual stage itself, though. But of course, for these exact sections, of course, they're going to be a little bit more irritating, just because, you know, when you see the electric balls have a certain opening, always take that opening, and they will always have random openings at some points in time. But, you know, like as I've said before, you see, like, there's different gaps in between these electric balls and electric fields, so it makes it a little bit more interesting at some point. So now, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to wait until this exact spike ball, or not exact spike ball, what am I talking about? This exact area, there's that. I only have at least 3 more hits to kill him, and then we'll basically be done with the stage, or for the most part, like, done with the game in general. But, you know, just for that fact being is that, even though on another topic, I really do love the background, this final boss music. It does feel like a final boss track, it really does, and it brings back memories, it really does, when frustrating days would give me. And now we're up to 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, so this actually might be a little bit longer. dissected, but hopefully this is probably a little bit more easier. And now, ladies and gentlemen, now we've just basically beaten Robotnik. Now come back here. We have to get him. Now basically all I have to do is just hit him once there, and now we basically watch as the final screen comes to an end. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of Sonic the Hedgehog 1, and I really hope that you enjoyed this. I really did as much as I did, but, you know, for the fact being is that I'm glad that I was actually able to beat this game for this run. I'm clearly sorry that I got a game over, but at least for that reason, I didn't screw up the Chaos Emeralds, and I'm really proud of myself because I am not a pro at getting most of the Chaos Emeralds for Sonic 1. I am so not. This was actually the first time I've gotten most of the Chaos Emeralds in one run. I mean, a few times in the past, I've had runs where I've actually gotten most of the Chaos Emeralds, and of course from there, that explains that, but just for those reasons, this is the first official time I've gotten most of all the Chaos Emeralds in one run without any problems whatsoever. But now we basically go to the credit sequence of Sonic 1, which I do actually like in general, and I really did like the good ending. I'm glad that I really got the good ending because there's actually, for some odd reasons, there's actually certain sections that I actually do remember of Labyrinth Zone, and as if you guys noticed in the Labyrinth Zone acts, there was actually a certain part where you had to go through water loops with spikes and you had to hang on the rails. I don't remember where that part is in Labyrinth Zone, I really don't, but I do have to admit that this playthrough has been pretty amazing for the most part, and I really do love it. It's been probably one of my favorite ones so far. I mean, besides my regular Minecraft playthroughs, I've never officially liked that, and just seeing myself playing this game and beating it correctly, beating it with a good ending, is really fantastic. I really do like it, just for these right reasons. So, as you can see, you know, we're basically just giving a brief recap of all the zones that we've just basically visited, and, you know, now we're getting the special credit scenes for special thanks, and now we are basically almost to the end of the credit sequence I remember exactly from this. But I guess I would like to say thank you guys for enjoying this Sonic the Hedgehog game playthrough, and I will basically see you guys for the next game playthrough. And, you know, hopefully we'll see Robotnik once again. So basically, guys, I hope you enjoyed the Sonic game playthrough. I really did, and I will basically see you guys later. Peace out.